beloved soul. Pause right here and breathe. The Holy Spirit has drawn you into this exact moment with a precision that only heaven understands. You did not arrive by curiosity. You were summoned. This is a supernatural summons, and your spirit already knows it. That stirring inside you, that quiet trembling you cannot explain, is not human emotion. It is the echo of eternity calling your name. God has something urgent to release into your life, and He needed you still enough, quiet enough, open enough to hear it. Chosen one, there is a reason your heart has been sensitive these days. A reason conversations feel heavier. A reason silence feels sacred. Heaven has been whispering around you, waiting for the moment your spirit would awaken to this truth. Today is that moment. You are standing in a place between the seen and the unseen, and the Lord is urging you to listen. There are seasons to speak, and there are seasons where silence becomes strategy. God is saying to you now with unmistakable clarity, hold your tongue, this is not the time to talk. Isaiah 43:19 declares, behold, I am doing a new thing, now it springs forth. And this new thing requires protection. Not everyone can be trusted with what God is forming in you. Not every ear is worthy of the revelation He is placing in your spirit. Heaven is guarding your breakthrough season, shaping your wealth mindset, strengthening your emotional healing, aligning your destiny with divine purpose. But to receive all of this, you must learn the holy discipline of silence, the kind of silence that shields destiny, the kind of silence that confuses the enemy, the kind of silence that allows God to speak louder than your fears. Beloved soul, open your heart, soften your spirit. This message is not a coincidence. It is a divine alignment moment prepared for you before time began. Stay with me, because what the Father is about to reveal will shift your understanding of spiritual awakening and elevate you into the abundance waiting for you. And hear me. Around this point in your journey, there is a reason to subscribe, like, and share. Not for numbers, but because staying connected to words that align you with God's voice keeps your spirit steady in seasons where silence becomes warfare. Now breathe once more. Heaven is here. God is near. And this word is for you. Chosen one, as you listen, something in your spirit is already beginning to settle. You can feel it, that gentle but unmistakable shift inside you. Like heaven is lowering the volume of the world so you can finally hear what God has been trying to say. This silence you are walking through is not accidental. It is engineered by the Father Himself. He has pulled you away from noise, from chatter, from opinions that distort clarity, because what He is building in you right now cannot survive careless words or exposed intentions. You have been sensing it without fully understanding it. Conversations that once felt easy suddenly feel heavy. The desire to explain yourself has faded. The urge to defend your name has weakened. You find yourself pulling back, guarding your thoughts, even choosing not to respond to things that once stirred you. This is not withdrawal. This is elevation. God is inviting you into a higher spiritual frequency where words are no longer used to persuade, but to protect. Where silence becomes a shield, where restraint becomes wisdom, where you stop announcing battles and start winning them in the secret place. Hear this with your whole heart. You are in a breakthrough season, but every breakthrough has an enemy. Not always a person, but a pattern. Not always opposition from outside, but unhealed impulses within. And the enemy cannot destroy what he cannot detect. This is why God is telling you to stay quiet. This is why He is urging you not to share your plans, your insights, your revelations prematurely. You're carrying something anointed, something fragile in its early stage, something tied to your divine purpose and destiny alignment. One wrong conversation, one misplaced confession, one vulnerable moment shared with the wrong heart, and the soil around your promise becomes polluted. Think of Joseph, beloved soul. His dream was divine, but his timing was uncalibrated. He spoke too soon, opened his mouth too wide, revealed too much. And the moment his words escaped his lips, envy woke up in the hearts of those around him. You are wiser now. God is training you to guard the spiritual seeds He places in your soul. Not every revelation is meant to be spoken. Not every blessing is meant to be announced. Not every instruction is meant to be shared. There is an anointing in restraint, and heaven is teaching you how to carry it. Feel the shift happening within you. God is refining the way you respond, the way you communicate, the way you choose silence over impulse. This restraint is not weakness. It is spiritual maturity. It is emotional healing taking root. It is the wealth mindset of someone who understands that true abundance is protected long before it is displayed. You are becoming the kind of person heaven trusts with revelation, because you no longer leak what God whispers in confidence. And chosen one, pay attention to the way God is isolating your voice. He is removing the need to defend yourself. He is dismantling your desire to be understood. He is silencing every urge to retaliate. Because where He is taking you, silence will speak louder than explanation, and elevation will answer questions your words never could. You're being trained for a higher realm of influence, where your presence carries more weight than your sentences. If your nights have been quieter lately, if your mind has been unusually still, if your heart feels pulled inward, it is because the Father is gathering you into His counsel. Heaven is crafting instructions for your next season. Divine strategies are forming, spiritual blueprints are unfolding, and God does not speak to noisy hearts. He prepares His chosen ones in the quiet, away from the crowd, so the enemy remains blind to what is being built. Chosen one, stay with this. More is being revealed. Chosen one, lean in even closer, because what God is shaping within you right now requires a depth of stillness you have not walked in before. You may have noticed that the more heaven begins to stir your spirit, the more your appetite for unnecessary conversation fades. Words that once felt harmless now feel heavy. Opinions that once influenced you now fall flat. Even the urge to vent, to explain, to share your heart freely has been quietly shutting down. This is not you losing connection. This is God refining your vessel, preparing you for a level of spiritual awakening where silence becomes an instrument of power. There is a holy hush surrounding your life right now. Heaven is drawing a boundary around your spirit, not to isolate you, but to insulate what He is doing in you. Every great transformation begins undercover. Seeds germinate in hidden soil. Warriors train in quiet rooms. Oil is pressed in secret before it ever pours in public. And you, beloved soul, are in that sacred chamber. God is not asking you to speak. He is asking you to listen. He is not asking you to reveal. He is asking you to receive. This is destiny alignment taking shape in real time. Hear this clearly. The enemy has always used your words as footholds, twisting them, distorting them, turning them into openings for discouragement. But in this season, your silence has become a fortress. The traps set against you are collapsing because there is nothing for them to grab onto. The accusations lose power when you refuse to respond. The gossip dissolves when you refuse to feed it. This restraint is heaven-made. It is strategic. It is part of your personal transformation. You are not just withholding speech. You are reclaiming authority. And beloved, notice how the spiritual atmosphere around you has been shifting. People who once demanded your energy suddenly cannot access you. Conversations that once consumed your attention no longer pull you in. Distractions that once derailed your focus now feel meaningless. This is spiritual elevation. This is God pruning your environment, preparing you to receive divine instruction without interference. When heaven speaks, it expects your heart to be uncluttered. And right now, God is fine-tuning your sensitivity so you can discern His whisper, even in moments where the world feels loud. Your silence is also exposing intentions. Pay attention to how people react when you choose not to reveal your thoughts. Pay attention to who becomes uncomfortable when you become unavailable. Pay attention to who pressures you to speak when God is telling you to stay quiet. You're seeing hearts clearly now, not because they suddenly changed, but because your silence removed the noise that once clouded the truth. God is giving you clarity that speech would have stolen. You're entering a breakthrough season, but breakthroughs often require secrecy in their early stages. Just as expectant mothers guard the first months of pregnancy, heaven is teaching you to guard the early formation of what God is birthing in your spirit. Vision is delicate. Revelation is sensitive. Divine instruction is not meant for public consumption. This quiet is not emptiness. It is incubation. It is the space where abundance grows roots before it grows fruit. And chosen one, feel this. The more you obey this call to silence, the more God begins to pour into you. Creativity awakens, strategy sharpens, discernment intensifies. Your wealth mindset evolves from survival to stewardship. Your emotional healing deepens as your heart stops leaking energy through unnecessary conversations. Peace becomes your protection, wisdom becomes your language, and heaven becomes your confidant. God is preparing you for a place where your voice will carry authority, where your words will shape atmospheres, where your presence alone will shift rooms. But before he releases that kind of influence, he teaches his chosen ones how to master quiet strength. You are being trained to speak only when heaven breathes through you, and until then, your tongue is being held by divine hands. Stay in this flow. There is more the Spirit is about to unveil. Chosen one, let your spirit lean even further into this quiet corridor God has drawn you into, because what he is shaping beneath the surface is far more expansive than anything your natural mind can grasp. You have been feeling it, that strange pull away from conversations that once felt familiar, the subtle urge to retreat from circles that once held your trust, the sudden awareness that not every listener is a safe place for your revelation. This shift is not personality. It is prophecy. You are being repositioned internally before God repositions you externally. There is a reason heaven is urging you to guard your voice. Your words carry weight in the spirit realm, a weight you have not fully recognized until now. Every chosen one walks through a season where God teaches them restraint, because revelation spoken too soon draws warfare not assigned to the moment. You are in that formative season now. The Father is teaching you the sacred discipline of conserving power. He is revealing that silence is not emptiness. It is strategy. It is the chamber where he shapes precision. You may not have realized it yet, but your silence has already begun dismantling certain strongholds. People who once relied on your openness to gain access to your spirit find themselves locked out. Energies that once drained you fall flat against the shield God has raised around your tongue. Patterns that once repeated through careless speech now break because heaven is training you to recognize the spiritual weight of what you release. You are not just quiet, you're becoming spiritually untouchable. Feel the shift happening inside your emotional landscape. The urge to defend yourself is dissolving. The desire to explain your heart is fading. Even the impulse to correct misunderstandings is losing its grip. This is emotional healing unfolding quietly, like dawn creeping across a dark horizon. God is detoxing your soul from the need to be understood. He is uprooting old wounds that once made you over-explain, overshare, and overgive. Silence becomes the evidence that he is restoring you. And chosen one, look at how spiritually alive you have become in this quiet. You are noticing details you once overlooked. You are discerning motives without hearing a word spoken. You are picking up shifts in the atmosphere that others miss entirely. Heaven is sharpening your spiritual senses because your next assignment will require higher sensitivity. You cannot carry destiny alignment if you are entangled in unnecessary noise. You cannot hear divine instruction if your heart is busy reacting to distractions. This stillness is not accidental. It is curated by heaven. God is drawing you deeper into himself so that his voice becomes louder inside you than the world outside you. He wants you to know his whisper well enough that even in moments of uncertainty, you recognize it instantly. Revelation grows in silence, and heaven is planting divine strategies, blueprints, and insights that cannot be birthed in crowded spaces. You are stepping into the realm where spiritual elevation requires secrecy. You may have wondered why people's spirits have been revealing themselves so clearly lately. Your silence has become a mirror, reflecting intentions without you having to ask a single question. God is exposing who can handle access to you and who cannot. He is filtering your circle without your involvement, removing those who would sabotage your next season if they knew too much. This pruning is not punishment. It is protection. You are being prepared for abundance, and abundance requires wise boundaries. Beloved soul, listen with your inner ear. The more you embrace this divine quiet, the faster heaven accelerates your growth. In silence, your creativity returns. Ideas flow. Spiritual endurance rises. You begin to see patterns, connections, and divine alignments that were invisible before. Silence is not keeping you small. It is expanding your capacity to carry more. This is not a pause. This is preparation. Chosen one, there is a deeper layer to this holy silence that heaven is now drawing you into, a layer that reaches beyond simple restraint and into the very architecture of your destiny. You may not have language for it yet, but your spirit has already recognized that you are being repositioned in ways that require secrecy. You have entered a realm where God is not only refining your voice, he is redefining its purpose. There is a sacred weight resting on your tongue in this season. Something in you knows that one wrong confession, one unguarded conversation, one emotional reaction could open doors the enemy is waiting to exploit. And because God is elevating you into a breakthrough season, he is sealing your words so they align with heaven rather than your surroundings. Your silence is not suppression. It is spiritual preservation. Heaven is teaching you how to hold revelation like a warrior holds a sword, with intention, discernment, and timing. Consider how different you feel now compared to past seasons. There was a time when you spoke freely, believing honesty alone protected you. There was a time when you shared dreams with people whose hearts lacked the capacity to honor them. There was a time when you mistook proximity for safety and transparency for trust. But that time has passed. God is maturing you beyond impulse and guiding you into wisdom. Your silence is a sign that he has upgraded your discernment. It is proof that you are stepping into spiritual adulthood. And beloved soul, heaven is also shifting the purpose of your speech itself. Where you once used words to seek connection, you will soon use them to release purpose. Where you once spoke to be understood, you will soon speak to bring understanding. Where you once talked to express pain, you will soon speak to impart healing. This transition requires an internal recalibration, and silence is the instrument God uses to tune your spirit. You may feel like you have been pulled back, but understand this. When God pulls a bowstring back, it is not retreat. It is preparation for impact. The tension you feel is divine positioning. The quiet he has placed you in is stretching your capacity. The stillness you're experiencing is crafting precision. Nothing about this silence is passive. Heaven is loading purpose into you. Notice how your intuition has sharpened. You can sense shifts in people's energy without them speaking. You can feel when a room is spiritually safe and when it is not. You can discern motives behind smiles and hear truth beneath silence. These abilities are not coincidences. They are gifts activated only when God quiets everything else around you. Your discernment is being fine-tuned because your next realm will require foresight, not hindsight. The Father is not preparing you to react. He is preparing you to perceive. And chosen one, be aware of this truth. Your silence is unsettling some people. They were comfortable when they could predict your thoughts. They were confident when they could read your emotions. They were secure when your voice filled the gaps that their intentions created. But the moment you became quiet, the moment you stopped explaining, defending, and justifying, their confidence cracked. Silence exposes what noise once concealed. This divine quiet is also revealing who honors your presence and who only valued your vulnerability. Heaven is separating those who seek access from those who seek alignment. And though this exposure may feel uncomfortable, it is necessary. God is protecting the next phase of your destiny from voices that do not carry His tone. You are being prepared for connections that are covenant, not convenient, and covenant requires clarity. Beloved, let your heart rest in this truth. The quiet is not empty. It is full of divine activity. Thoughts that once scattered are now coming into order. Emotions that once spiraled are now finding stability. Your wealth mindset is shifting from survival to abundance. Your emotional healing is becoming deeper than surface peace. Purpose is settling in your bones like fire waiting to be released. What heaven is doing in you cannot be rushed, cannot be announced prematurely, cannot be exposed to human interpretation. You are being entrusted with revelation that must mature in silence. This is destiny alignment at work. Let the quiet continue to carve out room inside you. There is more God is preparing to unveil. Chosen one, sink even deeper into this sacred stillness, because what God is doing right now reaches into the unseen layers of your being. This is not surface work. This is not minor refinement. This is a holy reconstruction taking place beneath every breath you take. Heaven is not just teaching you to be silent. Heaven is rewiring the purpose of your silence. There is a divine assignment hidden within this quiet, and the Spirit is patiently shaping you to carry it. You have begun noticing how your inner world is becoming louder as your outer world becomes quiet. Thoughts once tangled are starting to clarify. Emotions you used to suppress are surfacing in gentle waves, ready to be healed rather than hidden. Your heart is no longer satisfied with small talk, shallow connections, or empty exchanges. There is a growing hunger inside you for something truer, deeper, richer. This is spiritual awakening unfolding in real time. And God often awakens His chosen ones in silence so they can hear the truth of who they are without the noise of who others want them to be. Beloved soul, this stillness is not inactivity. It is divine intelligence at work. Heaven is removing the static of distraction from your mind so revelation can flow without interference. God is cleansing your spiritual palate so His voice becomes unmistakable to you. And He is strengthening your internal root system because the elevation He is preparing to place upon your life requires depth, not noise. Listen closely. Silence is sharpening your authority. You may not feel powerful right now, but power is building quietly inside you. The restraint you are practicing is not weakness. It is mastery. Every time you hold your tongue when your flesh wants to react, something ancient and strong awakens in your spirit. Every time you choose stillness over confrontation, heaven records it as obedience. Every time you decide not to justify yourself, God Himself steps into the situation and becomes your defender. You are learning the language of kings and priests, the language of those who speak only when their words are carrying purpose. Heaven is training you for moments where one sentence will carry enough spiritual weight to shift atmospheres. You are being prepared for influence that requires precision, and precision is forged in silence. But chosen one, here is what many never realize. Silence is also where God reveals what your mouth has been hiding. In quiet seasons, the truths you've avoided rise to the surface. The wounds you've buried begin speaking. The insecurities you once outran begin stretching their hands toward healing. God is not exposing these things to shame you. He is surfacing them so He can finally free you. You cannot step into abundance while carrying emotional residue that drains you. You cannot walk in destiny alignment while old stories are still writing your reactions. The Father loves you too deeply to allow unhealed fractures to shape your future. This is why He has pulled you inward. This is why He has lowered the volume of the world. Emotional healing is taking place even when you are unaware. God is touching memories you thought were irrelevant. He is soothing grief you never articulated. He is dissolving fears you stopped acknowledging. In this silence, heaven is repairing the architecture of your inner life so that nothing shaky remains beneath the weight of your calling. And beloved, notice this. Your dreams are becoming more vivid. Your intuition is becoming more accurate. Your inner knowing is becoming more confident. These are signs that your spiritual senses are waking up. You are being pulled into alignment with your divine purpose, and your destiny is starting to whisper its next instruction. Silence clears the pathway for heaven to speak not in thunder, but in clarity. You may not see it fully yet, but this quiet is also a separation, a holy filtering. God is gently removing you from narratives that no longer match your calling. He is detaching your spirit from environments that cannot support where you are going. He is breaking emotional ties that were draining your strength. And He is refining your connections so that only those aligned with your assignment remain close. This pull to speak less is your spirit obeying before your mind understands. Heaven knows your capacity is expanding. Heaven knows your influence is growing. Heaven knows your next chapter requires a guarded tongue, a steady heart, and a sharpened discernment. Let the silence keep shaping you. There is another layer God is ready to reveal. Chosen one, step even further into this quiet sanctuary God has carved around your life. Because the deeper you go, the more you will realize this silence is not a pause at all. It is movement. It is progress. It is heaven shifting the foundations within you so that when your next season arrives, nothing in you can be shaken. The quiet is not empty. It is crowded with divine activity. Angels are working. Doors are being prepared. Spiritual pathways are being cleared. You are being positioned not by noise but by stillness. There is a reason your soul has been craving distance from familiar voices. A reason conversations feel shallow. A reason you no longer feel compelled to explain your choices or justify your direction. God has disconnected you from the need for validation because He is teaching you how to walk by revelation. What once fed you now feels flavorless. What once entertained you now feels hollow. Your spirit is outgrowing the places where your voice once lived. Heaven is expanding you, even when your surroundings haven't caught up. You are beginning to understand the sacredness of your own thoughts, the weight of your own intuition, the authority of your spiritual instincts. And for the first time, you are recognizing that not every insight deserves an audience. Some truths are meant to marinate in your soul until God gives you permission to speak them. Some revelations must live in silence until God breathes on them. Some instructions must be carried quietly until heaven announces the timing. Beloved soul, feel how the Spirit is reordering your internal atmosphere. Your priorities are shifting. Your desires are maturing. Your stability is growing from a place that no human voice can influence. This is what spiritual elevation truly looks like. It doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives through quiet internal realignment. God is strengthening your core so that what once unsettled you now barely moves you. He is anchoring you so deeply in Him that external noise loses its power. Watch how your discernment has evolved. You can sense deception before words are spoken. You can feel dishonor before actions reveal it. You can detect spiritual misalignment even when everything appears polite on the surface. This sensitivity is not random. It is heaven sharpening your spiritual sight so you can navigate the next phase of your destiny without stumbling. Revelation requires discretion, and God is teaching you how to carry both. Chosen one, there is another layer to this silence. God is detoxing your emotional environment. You have lived for too long carrying the weight of others' expectations, emotions, and interpretations. And now the Spirit is gently lifting those burdens off your shoulders. You are no longer obligated to be understood. You are no longer responsible for fixing what was never yours to carry. You are no longer bound to conversations that drain your spirit. Silence is healing you from the invisible obligations that once held your voice hostage. And look at how heaven has shifted your vision. You no longer crave response. You no longer chase explanations. You no longer seek closure from people who never had the capacity to honor your heart. This is emotional maturity rising within you. This is your wealth mindset expanding into areas beyond finances, into wisdom, peace, and discernment. Abundance is not only what you receive, it is also what you no longer waste. Beloved, hear this with clarity. God is preparing you for an assignment that requires spiritual protection. There are doors about to open that cannot be announced prematurely. There are opportunities forming in the unseen that require your silence until the moment heaven reveals them. Some blessings are too delicate to expose early. Some breakthroughs require concealment so the enemy cannot intercept their timing. God is hiding you to preserve what He is building. This is why your desire to speak has been replaced with a desire to observe. This is why your instinct to answer has been replaced with an instinct to listen. This is why the conversations that once pulled you in now feel like echoes from a world you no longer belong to. You are transitioning realms. You are stepping into a dimension of purpose that requires a guarded spirit and a disciplined tongue. And chosen one, let this truth settle gently over your heart. Your silence is not distance, it is elevation. When God raises you, He doesn't always change your environment first. He changes your communication. He shifts the frequency of your voice. He separates you from noise so that when you speak again, your words will carry the full weight of heaven behind them. Stay in this sacred stillness. Something even deeper is rising to the surface. Chosen one, stay in this holy quiet a little longer, because what God is unfolding inside you right now is the kind of transformation that cannot be rushed, cannot be spoken prematurely, cannot be diluted by outside influence. This is the deep work, the unseen work, the sacred work that only heaven witnesses and only heaven understands. You are walking through a realm where God is reshaping not only your voice, but your very relationship with your own spirit. Feel what is happening inside you. Your inner dialogue has shifted. You're no longer speaking from old wounds, but from emerging wisdom. You are no longer reacting from instinct, but responding from clarity. You are no longer living from emotional reflexes, but from spiritual awareness. Silence has become the operating room where heaven performs surgery on parts of you that words could never reach. And in that stillness, God is stitching back pieces of your identity that life once tore apart. There is a new strength forming inside you, a strength you cannot yet name. It is subtle but undeniable. It shows up in the moments where you choose peace over reaction. It shows up in the moments where you hold back truth not out of fear, but out of wisdom. It shows up in the moments where you realize you don't need to announce what God has already confirmed. This strength does not shout. It settles. It roots. It stabilizes. It becomes the spiritual backbone of your next chapter. Chosen one, pay attention to this. Heaven is training your mind to carry revelation without leakage. You used to pour out everything you felt, everything you dreamed, everything you hoped for, believing transparency equaled connection. But now the Spirit is showing you a higher truth. Revelation requires containment before it can become manifestation. Prophetic instruction must mature in silence before it can be released in purpose. Dreams must stabilize in your spirit before they can survive in the world. God is teaching you to carry the weight of destiny without collapsing under conversations that drain your focus. You may be noticing that your patience has increased, not because life has become easier, but because your spirit is becoming deeper. You are learning that every response does not require your voice. Every misunderstanding does not deserve your energy. Every invitation into chaos is beneath the level of purpose you now operate in. Silence has become the proof that you are evolving beyond the version of yourself that once lived to be heard. And look closely, beloved soul. Your sensitivity to the Holy Spirit is increasing. You can feel conviction more quickly. You can sense danger before it speaks. You can perceive divine timing in ways you never could before. This is not coincidence. This is God refining your spiritual antenna, calibrating you for divine purpose. In silence, the Spirit tunes your heart like an instrument, removing static, clearing interference, teaching you to distinguish His whisper from every other voice. You've also begun to experience moments of unexplainable peace. Peace that settles on you in situations where your old self would have panicked. Peace that arrives before answers do. Peace that wraps around your heart like a protective mantle. This peace is heaven's confirmation that you are being aligned with God's design for your life. It is the peace that surpasses understanding because it does not come from circumstances. It comes from transformation. Chosen one, silence is also reshaping your relationships. Those aligned with your purpose are drawing nearer in spirit, even if not in proximity. Those not aligned are growing distant without conflict or effort. Heaven is revealing who can hold access to you in this next chapter. Not everyone can handle the weight of your calling. Not everyone can be trusted with the purity of your revelation. Not everyone can hear your silence without fearing it. The Spirit is filtering your connections gently, but purposefully. This is why your circle is shifting. It is not loneliness, it is lifestyle elevation. God is protecting your emotional bandwidth so that when He speaks, you can hear without distortion. When He leads, you can follow without hesitation. When He instructs, you can obey without second-guessing. This requires a clean atmosphere around your heart, and silence is purifying that atmosphere. Beloved, there is another truth unfolding. The less you speak, the more heaven speaks to you. The more you withdraw from noise, the more God reveals. The more you detach from unnecessary conversations, the more clearly you hear your own growth. Silence is creating spiritual expansion inside you. It is stretching your capacity to carry wisdom, insight, discernment, and divine strategy. And though it may feel strange, even uncomfortable, this season is a spiritual treasure. What you gain here will shape every elevation that follows. What God deposits in you during this quiet season will become the foundation of your abundance, your clarity, your spiritual authority, and the next dimension of your purpose. Stay with this. There is more depth heaven is about to uncover. Chosen one, let yourself drift even further into this inner sanctuary. Because the deeper you travel into this silence, the more you will recognize that God is not simply quieting your voice. He is awakening your essence. There is a profound shift taking place beneath your awareness, a reordering of your spiritual wiring, a recalibration of your emotional landscape, a refinement of your internal compass. This is not ordinary transformation. This is divine engineering, crafted with intention, precision, and love. You may have wondered why your heart has become more selective lately, why conversations drain you more quickly, why certain topics no longer interest you, why small talk feels like sand slipping through your fingers. It is because your spirit is rising into a higher dimension where only truth, alignment, and authenticity can breathe. God is pulling you out of environments built on noise, distraction, and emotional clutter so He can immerse you in a frequency where revelation flows effortlessly. This silence is not God withholding from you. It is God preparing you to receive more than you've ever been entrusted with. You are being trained to carry spiritual weight with steadiness, not struggle. You are learning how to protect what heaven plants before the world tries to suffocate it. You are discovering that one whisper from God outweighs 1,000 opinions from people. And chosen one, notice this sacred phenomenon. The quieter you become externally, the louder your inner knowing becomes. Insights appear before questions form. Discernment rises before danger approaches. Wisdom flows without invitation. It is as if heaven has placed a lamp inside your spirit and lit it from within, guiding your steps with a clarity you cannot explain but deeply understand. This is destiny alignment happening cell by cell, thought by thought, breath by breath. There are moments where you feel an unexplainable pull to withdraw, not because something is wrong, but because God is calling you into deeper chambers of spiritual intelligence. In those moments, heaven is downloading strategies you don't yet have language for, instructions wrapped in stillness, direction disguised as peace, clarity emerging out of nowhere. These are divine transmissions, and silence is the frequency that receives them best. Your emotional healing is also accelerating in this quiet. The parts of you that once shook under pressure are calming. The wounds that once dictated your reactions are losing their influence. The memories that once triggered pain are softening with grace. God is rewiring your nervous system to operate from peace instead of fear, from abundance instead of scarcity, from clarity instead of confusion. This is inner resurrection, the kind only silence can host. And beloved, watch how your priorities are shifting. You care less about being heard and more about being aligned. Less about being seen and more about being grounded. Less about being right and more about being righteous in spirit. This is what spiritual maturity looks like. It is the quiet evolution of your soul into someone who no longer chases significance because you have finally realized you carry it. Heaven is also separating your spirit from old patterns. Patterns of oversharing, patterns of explaining yourself, patterns of overgiving, patterns of keeping peace at the cost of your own. God is breaking those chains gently, without force, but with authority. Silence is rewriting your habits. Restraint is becoming your strength. Stillness is becoming your discernment tool. Chosen one, feel this truth. Your silence is becoming a spiritual weapon. When you stop reacting, the enemy loses access. When you stop confessing prematurely, your path becomes hidden. When you stop explaining, your energy stops leaking. When you stop responding to noise, heaven begins responding on your behalf. And pay close attention to how your atmosphere shifts when you speak less. Your presence becomes more noticeable. Your absence becomes more powerful. Your energy becomes more protected. People begin to sense the difference in you, even if they can't articulate it. They feel the elevation, even if they can't name it. That is the mark of someone God is upgrading in the unseen. This silence is shaping your character, your endurance, your intuition, your spiritual authority, your capacity to hold abundance without breaking under the weight of it. You are not losing your voice. You are learning how to use it with purpose. And heaven has not finished molding you in this quiet. Chosen one, step even deeper into this river of stillness, because with every layer you surrender, heaven unveils another dimension of who you truly are. There is a sacred unfolding taking place inside you, something ancient and God-breathed rising quietly beneath your ribs. You may not have a name for it yet, but your spirit recognizes it instantly. It is the sound of your destiny waking up. Your silence is not empty space. It is fertile ground. God is planting instructions in the places where noise once lived. He is stretching the borders of your inner world, making room for wisdom that will guide you through seasons you have not yet stepped into. This quiet is the womb of transformation. Every moment you choose silence over reaction, over explanation, over defense, heaven engraves new strength into your character. You have begun to sense how different you are becoming. The things that once triggered you now barely move you. The voices that once shaped you now echo without influence. The opinions that once controlled your decisions now fall powerless against the clarity forming inside you. This is not numbness. This is mastery. God is teaching you how to stand in your authority without raising your voice. And beloved soul, notice how your intuition has become almost prophetic. You can see through intentions before they unfold. You can feel spiritual shifts before they manifest. You can sense danger without evidence. The Spirit is activating a deeper layer of discernment in you, one reserved for those entrusted with divine purpose. This is part of your elevation, an elevation that comes not through applause or attention, but through quiet spiritual precision. At this place in your journey, if your heart feels stirred, let it speak in the simplest way. Leave a declaration in the comments like, "I rise now," as a sign that your spirit agrees with what heaven is shaping inside you. Chosen one, the more you walk in this silence, the more you will understand that God is not just protecting you, He is positioning you. You are being separated from voices that would misinterpret your calling, distanced from people who would mishandle your vulnerability, hidden from environments that cannot support your growth. What feels like isolation is actually insulation, a divine barrier shielding the early stages of your breakthrough season. Your emotional landscape is changing too. Where anxiety once held residence, peace now settles. Where overthinking once dominated, clarity now rises. Where fear once whispered, confidence now speaks softly from within. The Holy Spirit is calming storms you never told anyone about. He is healing wounds you stopped acknowledging. He's restoring parts of you that life convinced you were permanently broken. This healing can only happen in silence, where your heart finally becomes still enough to listen. And chosen one, observe the transformation in how you handle conflict. You no longer rush to defend yourself. You no longer chase closure. You no longer seek to prove your heart to those who cannot perceive it. This restraint is not weakness. It is evidence that God Himself is becoming your defender. Every time you hold back a reaction, heaven releases protection. Every time you choose silence, you choose sovereignty over chaos. There is also a subtle but powerful shift in your desires. You crave depth instead of noise, purpose instead of distraction, alignment instead of attention. You are becoming someone who values internal stability more than external validation. This is the wealth mindset of the Spirit, where abundance begins with peace, clarity, and boundaries before it ever touches your material world. And look closely, beloved soul. Opportunities that once felt distant are beginning to orbit your life quietly. Connections aligned with your purpose are preparing to emerge. Doors that were closed are being assessed by heaven for the right moment to open. God is organizing your steps with precision, ensuring that nothing arrives too early or too late. Silence is the bridge between where you are and where He is taking you. This quiet season is not the absence of movement. It is movement wrapped in grace. It is transition disguised as stillness. It is growth happening at the speed of surrender. And you, chosen one, are being shaped for something your voice alone could never carry. There is deeper revelation waiting beneath this silence. Chosen one, descend even further into this holy interior space, because the silence that surrounds you now is beginning to speak with a language only your spirit can interpret. What you are experiencing is not withdrawal. It is refinement. It is not emptiness. It is sanctification. Heaven is stripping away every external frequency so that the deepest parts of you can finally rise to the surface with clarity, strength, and divine intelligence. You may have noticed that your thoughts are becoming more intentional, no longer scattered, no longer grasping for direction, no longer spiraling into cycles that once drained your spirit. This is because God is untangling the knots inside you one by one, gently, quietly, without dramatic interference. The silence you're sitting in is not passive. It is active restoration. It is the Spirit cleansing the mental clutter that once made it difficult for you to hear His voice. And chosen one, look closely at the new awareness forming within you. You are beginning to understand that not every burden is yours to carry. Not every emotion is yours to absorb. Not every conflict is yours to resolve. Silence is teaching you to release what was never yours, to surrender what was never aligned with your growth, to detach from what your spirit has outgrown. This is emotional liberation hidden within spiritual stillness. Your discernment is also expanding into territories you never recognized before. You can feel when someone's words lack truth, even if their tone is gentle. You can sense when an opportunity is counterfeit before it unfolds. You can detect when someone's presence drains you, even if their intentions appear kind. This level of sensitivity is the fruit of silence. God is sharpening your intuition because He is preparing you for assignments that require spiritual intelligence, not emotional impulse. There is also a purification happening inside your desire. You want fewer things now, but the things you want carry meaning, purpose, and alignment. You crave peace that stays, not thrills that fade. You long for connections that nourish, not interactions that deplete. You seek purpose over patterns, elevation over entertainment, destiny over distraction. This hunger shift is a sign of deep inner transformation. Heaven is rewiring what your spirit reaches for, and chosen one, something profound is happening beneath your awareness. Your inner authority is rising. The kind of authority that doesn't argue, the kind that doesn't seek applause, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything. True authority never shouts. It simply exists, and your spirit is stepping into it quietly, steadily, gracefully. This is the kind of authority that God gives to those who have learned how to master themselves before trying to influence the world. Silence is rebuilding your identity from the inside out. You are recognizing your worth without needing anyone to mirror it back to you. You are learning the rhythm of your own emotions without drowning in them. You're becoming fluent in the language of your purpose without forcing understanding from those who cannot interpret your calling. And pay attention, chosen one. Even the way time feels is changing. Moments that once felt rushed now feel spacious. Pauses that once felt uncomfortable now feel sacred. This is the slowing of the soul, the realignment of your inner clock to heaven's timing. You are no longer racing life, you are flowing with God. There is also a new resilience rising quietly within you. You may not feel stronger in your body, but you are stronger in your spirit. Challenges that once destabilized you now meet your silence instead of your panic. Situations that once consumed your energy now meet your discernment instead of your reaction. This resilience is the evidence that God is fortifying you for a greater weight of purpose. And beloved soul, take a moment and notice how your heart has been craving depth. Deep conversations, deep presence, deep connection, deep meaning. This craving is heaven's signal that you are no longer meant to live on the surface of your life. You are being drawn into deeper waters, where purpose is richer, where wisdom is thicker, where your spirit can finally breathe without restriction. If your heart feels aligned with this transformation, write a simple affirmation in the comments like, "I claim my breakthrough," to anchor your spirit in agreement with what heaven is unfolding within you. Chosen one, you are also beginning to sense that silence has become your filter. Anything that disturbs your peace no longer deserves your energy. Anything that confuses your clarity no longer has access to your focus. Anything that dims your light no longer belongs near your heart. God is revealing the blueprint of your next season through the things you no longer tolerate. And this may surprise you, but even your ambition is being purified. What you want now is guided not by pressure, but by purpose. Not by fear, but by faith. Not by comparison, but by calling. Your goals are becoming aligned with your divine design, and heaven is preparing doors that match this new alignment. Chosen one, the silence is not done shaping you. There is another layer waiting just beneath the next breath. Chosen one, walk with me even further into this inner chamber, because the silence that surrounds you now is not still. It is alive. It is humming with revelation. It is vibrating with divine intention. Something deep inside you is expanding, stretching, awakening, as if heaven itself is breathing into places within you that have waited years to come alive. You are not merely becoming quiet on the outside, you are becoming awakened on the inside. There is a shift happening in how you perceive yourself. For the first time, you are seeing your own spirit without distortion. You are no longer defining yourself by past wounds, old narratives, or the limitations others projected onto you. You are beginning to understand that your identity was never shaped by noise, it was shaped by divine design. Silence is simply giving you the space to rediscover what heaven always knew about you. And chosen one, notice how your internal boundaries are strengthening. You no longer give immediate access to your heart. You no longer let every emotion spill from your lips. You no longer feel compelled to fill the air with explanations that dilute your power. This restraint is not suppression, it is sovereignty. You are learning to protect your energy like a sacred resource, to guard your spirit like a treasure, to honor your peace like a covenant. You are being shaped into someone who no longer speaks to be understood, but listens to understand the deeper movements of God within you. Someone who no longer responds out of fear, but waits for alignment. Someone who no longer fights every battle, because wisdom has taught you which battles are beneath the purpose you carry. This silence is refining your emotional intelligence. You can now feel the difference between anxiety and divine caution, between discomfort and spiritual stretching, between loneliness and consecration, between detachment and elevation. These distinctions are not learned through speaking, they are learned through sensing, observing, discerning. The Spirit is teaching you to read the language of your soul. And beloved soul, pay attention to this. Silence is teaching you how to hear what people never say out loud, the pauses in their sentences, the weight behind their smiles, the intentions hidden beneath their kindness, the truth buried under their tone. Silence has opened your spiritual ears in ways that noise never could. Heaven is educating you in the realm of deeper perception. You may have also noticed that your confidence is growing, quietly, subtly, but unmistakably. Not loud confidence, not boastful confidence, but the kind that comes from knowing you are being guided. The kind that comes from trusting God more than your fear. The kind that comes from understanding your worth without needing to announce it. This confidence is the foundation of the abundance you are walking toward. And chosen one, deeply recognize this sacred truth. God is training you for moments where your silence will speak louder than anything you could say, where your restraint will carry more authority than your reaction, where your stillness will shift atmospheres that once overwhelmed you. You are being prepared for influence that moves without noise. Feel how heaven is reorganizing your inner world. Thoughts that once spiraled now settle. Emotions that once erupted now soften. Fears that once ruled now dissolve under clarity. God is making your inner life spacious enough to hold revelation without collapsing under its weight. Spacious enough to carry purpose without losing yourself. Spacious enough to step into elevation without being shaken by the winds around you. And chosen one, notice something else stirring in the deepest parts of your being. Your spirit is starting to anticipate something. A feeling you cannot explain, a pull you cannot ignore, a knowing that something sacred is approaching your life. Silence is the preparation ground for divine encounters. Your spirit senses what your eyes have not yet seen. As this awakening deepens, take a moment and let your heart answer in faith. Leave a declaration like Amen in the comments as an echo of agreement rising from your spirit into the atmosphere around you. But stay with me, beloved soul. Heaven is not finished unveiling what this silence is shaping in you. Chosen one, come even closer into this field of holy quiet, because the deeper you sink into it, the more clearly you will feel the architecture of your spirit shifting. This silence is not simply calming you, it is reconstructing you. It is reaching into places that have been tense for years, loosening knots you never had time to unravel, dissolving patterns you once thought were permanent. Heaven is taking you apart only to rebuild you stronger, steadier, wiser than you have ever been. You are beginning to notice how your spirit no longer flinches the way it once did. Your triggers are losing their power, your fears are losing their grip. Even the memories that once flooded your chest with heaviness are now passing through you with less force. This is healing, but not the kind that happens through words or confrontation. This is the healing born from stillness, the kind only God can orchestrate when you stop filling the space He's trying to speak into. Chosen one, silence is teaching you to locate yourself again. For so long, you have been shaped by external demands, expectations, and environments that pulled at you from every direction. You lost pieces of yourself trying to be everything for everyone. But now, in this quiet season, the pieces are returning. Your voice is returning. Your clarity is returning. Your emotional grounding is returning. Your sense of purpose is rising like a tide reclaiming its shoreline. And notice how your inner world is starting to reorganize. You think differently now. You feel differently. You want differently. Even your reactions have matured. The old version of you might have fought for explanations, validation, or attention. But this version of you cherishes peace like a treasure, guards your spirit like a sanctuary, and refuses to bargain with anything that threatens your divine alignment. You are learning that silence is not the absence of communication. It is a superior form of it. It is how your spirit speaks to God. It is how God speaks back. It is how your intuition becomes sharper, how your discernment becomes clearer, how your emotional landscape becomes stable enough for elevation. In silence, you hear everything that noise once drowned out. And beloved, notice something else shifting. Your mind is beginning to trust your spirit. You no longer demand logical explanations for every divine nudge. You no longer question every instinct. You no longer dismiss the quiet warnings that rise in your chest. This trust is the foundation of destiny alignment. It is what separates those who simply hope for breakthrough from those who walk in it. Your capacity for depth is growing too. You crave meaningful connection, meaningful conversations, meaningful purpose. Superficial interactions now feel like dust in your hands. They can no longer hold your attention or your spirit. This is because God is preparing you for relationships that refine you, not drain you. Connections that expand you, not shrink you. Encounters that activate you, not distract you.